Maybe the dark man just likes it when you suffer.
Have you ever talked to a doctor about your condition?
This is madness!
Are you crazy? Fall on your knees, wear the mask, praise his name!
Welcome to the Madhouse, Detective.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this year's Halloween makeup cosplay shenanigans. Once again, a mess, a total mess. But this messy look was brought to you by Bitch on a Budget Productions. Now, let's get into this look. Happy Halloween! This look was brought to you by Bitch on a Budget Productions. Now, let's get into this look. This theme for this look was inspired by Alone in the Dark game. Now, originally this was supposed to come out right around Halloween, but it got pushed back because of a very busy October. I started planning this in July. I already bought the fabrics and everything. So Alone in the Dark is about 1920s horror, jazz, and I love the looks from the 1920s. This look was totally inspired by Ziegfeld Folly girls with the elaborate headpieces, and you know, obviously this is not on that same level, but that's what it was inspired by. The ornate costumes, the feathers, the boas, the furs, the rhinestones, the jewels, everything. So that inspired me for this look. So I was going to be giving you 1920s glamour, but this headpiece specifically was inspired by a movie called Victor Victoria, starring Julie Andrews. She does a scene, the performance of Jazz Hot, and that costume, that headpiece was everything. I've always loved that costume. I've always loved that look that she does for the movie. So that was what this headpiece was inspired by. And the gown was inspired by Mae West, the iconic Mae West, so ahead of her time. No woman talked like her, no woman acted like her, no woman dressed like her. So she was a straight up badass for the times, like no one was doing it like that. I'm giving you black faux fur, rhinestones, black sparkly velvet gown, and Mary Jane platform shoes, which you probably can't even see. Let's give a height on the heel. Look at this. Look how tall these heels are. It's as big as my head. Once again, I love a high heel, and I love, even more than a high heel, a platform heel. I know when most people think of 20s, doing a 1920s look, they think of flapper, they think of fringes, they think of short gowns, the headbands, and the cigarette rhinestone cigarette holder. But to me, that's too predictable to do for a 1920s look. So I wanted to give you showgirl, Siegfried showgirl Mae West, giving it to you with the rhinestones, the feathers on top of this busted ass headpiece. This was a lot of fun. I'll show you some pics of how I started making it. I started this in July. You know, I start early, and thank God I did, because things got really busy this year. I'm filming this on the 19th of October. I just finished it yesterday. Now, I originally made this gown. I made a pattern for it. I drafted my own pattern for it. I was like, oh, this is gonna look great. So I did it, and I tried it on, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But I could not go back and buy any more fabric. So I had to make it work with the fabric that I had purchased already. Completely cut it up, restructured it, re-sewn it back. I Frankensteined it back to life. This gown got Frankenstein back to life. Once again, always something goes wrong. But I am one lucky bitch because it worked out perfectly. It fit me perfectly. I am Morticia Adams out in this gown. I cannot walk in this gown. It is so tight down to the floor that I'm like shuffling. I can't even walk. Cannot walk in this dress. I'm surprised I can even sit in this dress. Thank God for four-way stretch, because this dress would have been busted at the seams. So it is fits perfectly, which is not something that I can usually say when I make these costumes. Fits perfectly. I'm very lucky that it worked out and that I didn't cut off too much fabric, that I was able to make it work. Now, as always, you know, I have a signature neck piece. I always have a choker, and I did have like a design on it, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looked too much rhinestone, so I tried like iridescent, like pearl beads. That looked too cheap. It didn't go with the look. So I just left it plain because I said there's so much going on in the headpiece. There's so much going on. There's rhinestones here. There's rhinestones here. So I said, let me just keep it the velvet gown, the glitter velvet gown, the faux fur, and the rhinestones. Let me keep it simple. And the feathers. Well, that's just for this headpiece. Now for this headpiece, oh my gosh, Miss Wanda, my wig head, I put it through the gigs. Now I got to tell you something. You might wonder, Deirdre, how did you get these rhinestone strands of hair to lay down flat like this? Well, I wasn't sure how short I wanted the bangs until I did my makeup. So I cut the bangs as I just got dressed, just put the wig on, cut it while it was on my head, and glued it down to the wig cap as I was standing there right before I recorded this. So hopefully this will come off my head. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. This might not even come off my head. I did it on the wig cap. Holy crap. Let's say a prayer for me that my skin is still there. When I take this wig cap off, I didn't hot glue it. No, I used like fabric glue and glued it down. Oh God. So it would lay nice and flat. You know, they have like the short, blunt bangs, which I love, but I would never do in real life because I look awful in bangs. But for these rhinestone bangs, I wanted to make them as short and as blunt as possible. I wanted to give you, and I know usually it's like the short hair is in for the 20s, but you know me, I love long hair everything. That's just what I like, and I just think it looks so glamorous with the long. And so what I did was I had yards and yards of these rhinestones, and I cut them into strips. And then I glued them onto the wig cap that's under here. Ew. I glued them onto the wig cap, and I like hot glued them into place. I made sure that everything was laying nice and flat. It's a little messy because it's very hard to get it down and to make it look nice like hair. So I don't know how I did it. I don't think it was that hard. I cut them into like tracks. And I just laid them down like you would like a regular wig when you were making a real hair wig. So that's what I did. So I laid them down like tracks, and then I, like I said, I glued this down as it was on my head. Insane. I don't know what the heck I was thinking because it wasn't laying right. It looked cuckoo. And I really wanted it to look as nice and as perfect as possible. Never perfect with me, but as perfect as I could get it. And then for the plumage, I had this black, you know, sometimes I buy stuff. When I see it, I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to use this, but I know I'm going to use it for something because I know me, I know what I like. And I've had these the plumage feathers for a very long time, and I said that's what I'm going to use for my headpiece. I wanted to give it some height. I wanted to give it some structure. I wanted it very structured, and the feathers is giving it that little bit of plumage, feathery. We're giving it some softness with that. This look is anything but soft, but whatever. Try to get it on as straight as possible. Trying to do it when it's not on your head because you have to glue it. So it is a tad crooked, which is not surprising when I do anything. So that is that. I glued that on. I wrapped it in rhinestones, and I put the feathers in there so they would stand up. So I really like the way the headpiece came out. It's my favorite. You know me, I love a crazy headpiece. With this headpiece and the shoes, these shoes are almost 6 inches high. So I'm over 7 feet tall. Once again, I am cinched for the gods. The Spanx are working overtime on this costume. Let me tell you something. The Spanx underneath is holding me together for dear life. For dear life. I'm not even joking. I can't move in this gown. Once I redid this dress, when I ordered the shoes online, they took 2 weeks to get here. So I was like guessing. They always say, oh, how high the heel is, but when you get it, you never quite know. So I always do the measurements with the shoes on to make, because I want that gown to hit the floor. So these shoes came in 2 days ago, and I finished the gown yesterday. So one day I had to get it together, make sure that I had the faux fur on the bottom. I wanted it really tight on the bottom, but just to give a little bit of drama to the bottom. Just wanted to do like a cuff on the bottom. It is tight to the gown. Meanwhile, you can barely see it, but the gown's got to hit the floor, and I think I hit it as close as possible. Is it the most even? Probably not, but so at least you saw the shoes here. This is the latest I've ever done one of these cosplays because I was so far behind. I was so busy working on my side gig, trying to launch my side gig. So that's why I was so busy during the downtime. And I was also working on this, the headpiece and other things, but I couldn't finish the gown until I had the shoes. What a mess. Now the gown is, you know, I'm always inspired by Morticia, Elvira, Vampira, I Live. So this gown is also very Morticia. I cannot move in this gown. Very fit to the body all the way down. Now, you know, always on these cosplays, there's always one thing that I do, at least one thing that I plan on doing. Oh, this is gonna look great. I can't wait to do this. And you get it together and it looks awful. It does not work for the look and it didn't work out. I'm gonna show you what this is. I made this faux fur collar. Now, I really did want to make this work. I wasn't loving the way it was laying. It wasn't laying right. It wasn't attaching right. It was causing too much trouble with the headpiece. But it does look, if I'm holding it the entire time, it looks really cool. I really like the way it came out. But it didn't work with this, with my, oh God, it did not work with this headpiece. It was too cumbersome to try and attach and with everything going on. But I did like the way it came out. Used like skewer sticks in between the lining and the faux fur, and some interfacing to make it really stand up. And it's a shame that it didn't work out because it was just too much. And I know I could have probably done like just a faux fur stole, but I don't know. It just seemed so like costumey. I didn't want to look like I just came out of like Party City with a costume that I just bought in a bag. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's the point of doing all this if I'm not going to make everything for myself? Like I said, I make everything myself. The headpiece, the gown, the choker. And this was just faux fur I already had lying around to make it like almost like the umbrella sleeves. They are a little uneven. Cutting faux fur is a disaster. It gets everywhere. But I wanted to make these umbrella sleeves to give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of texture. Along against the velvet. I used some of the rhinestones to just put like a little chain across. I really like the way that came out, and that's the look. This was my concept, the Roaring 20s for the makeup part. Okay, I wanted to do big circular shaped eyes, you know, the very like the very dark eyes, very blown out, very smoked out. The browns, I specifically wanted to, now, you know, I usually love to do a lot of color when I'm doing these looks or some kind of brightness. There is no highlight on my face except my nose. I wanted to keep it very matte, like the blush is very centered here on the apples of the cheeks, and it goes very high up to give it that look. They had the very pink cheeks, the very blown out eyes, the Cupid's bow. This was like called like the bee sting lip look, very heart-shaped, very Clara bow, very 1920s. I love a giant smoky eye. I love dark smoky eye. And I wanted to do the thin eyebrows. You could do like even more like of a sad brow. I just wanted to give it like a little very graphic thin brow. The lips, I wanted to do like a dark red. The red lipstick was all the thing back in the 20s. So I had to do a red lip, even though I hate red lipstick on me. I absolutely hate red lipstick on me. But it goes with the look. So we're doing like sunset browns, like yellows, oranges, and black, and the giant lashes. I know I should have drawn on bottom lashes, but you know what? I really like the way the makeup came out. I'm like, if I mess up the lashes, this would ruin the whole look. So I didn't do the bottom lashes. I know I wasn't very brave, but I was like, I don't want to ruin the look. It came out so, I really like the way the makeup came out. The white face base, shout out to Indie Beat Cosmetics, the best liquid foundation, white, yellow, black, green, purple. They have a pink. They have a whole range of colors, which I love. So you can use it as blush. You can use it as foundation, everything. It's amazing. I only use that when I do these looks. So that's this look. My 1920s Ziegfeld, Mae West, Julie Andrews 1920s inspiration for this look. Let me know what you think. Please, I am not a professional. This is just something that I like to do for fun, so please don't read me for filth. If you're going to judge me, please judge me kindly. Now, thanks so much for all your love and support on the channel. We're going to be playing Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2 coming up. You're probably seeing the videos already. I really love sharing these looks with you guys, so thanks so much for your love and support and your lovely comments. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you all so very much. So thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with more. Happy Halloween. So of course I had to do 2 separate makeup looks for this black and white Greyscale 1920s flapper, dapper. I wanted to do a grayscale like a black and white movies. So good news, this cap did come off my skin quite easily, but I did have to give it another little haircut from the other video because it just wasn't laying right. So I had to give it a little haircut. I have no idea what I'm doing. So for this look, same costume, same cosplay, same outfit that I made, but this time, oh my god, this is so crooked up top. This time I did the grayscale. I used Indie Beat Cosmetics, the silver metallic for the grayscale and the white for the highlights. I used black shadows, gray shadows, light gray shadows. I'm doing these two looks in the same day. I've never done two looks in the same day because it usually takes hours and hours to do it, but Spider-Man 2 is coming out tomorrow, so I have got to get it together and get this done. We can have all that time to record Spidey and swing across New York City. It's the same look, just as if it was shot in a black and white film, the grayscale, a little bit of the glitter on the lid and underneath the lid here. I used Obsidian by Lit Cosmetics. It's like a black silver glitter. It's perfect for this look. Going with the black lip, same makeup look, just different colors. Grayscale look. Let me know in the comments which one you like better. I don't know, I think I like the color look better, shockingly enough. But this was so much fun to do. First look took about 2.5 hours. This one took about a little over 2 hours as well. Happy Halloween to everyone. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate all the love and support that you give me on the channel and all your lovely comments. I hope you like this look. I know it's a little busted as always. It's never perfect. This wig, I love it so much. I want to wear it all the time. I wish my hair looked like this in real life. I could go out wearing this. Why not? Thanks so much for your love and support. Happy Halloween, everyone.